Hi, my name is Jesowshek CPA, and today I want to talk about one of the most confusing things when it comes to payroll for employers. Do you classify your workers as an independent contractor or employee? And to start with, I just want to give you the definition from the IRS website of what they consider an employee. A worker should be classified as an employee if you as the employer control what will be done and how it will be done. As you can tell, that's a relatively gray area and brings a lot to interpretation. So for this example, I'm going to use and pretend we're working with a fitness studio and how they might classify a trainer or another worker. And to do that, I'm going to ask a couple questions, and if you answer yes to these questions, then the worker should likely be classified as an employee. So question number one is, does the studio design the workout programs and training mechanisms? Question number two, do the clients pay the studio? Question number three, does the studio create the pricing that the clients pay? Question number four, does the studio pay for the equipment that the clients use? And question number five, does the studio intend for their workers to stick with and working with that studio for a while? If you answered yes to these questions, typically that will mean that this worker should be classified as an employee and not an independent contractor. Some examples of characteristics of where an independent contractor might be the right fit is if they own their own business and they also take in clients or work for multiple studios. They collect the money from the client and they determine their own prices, and they also bring their own equipment into the studio. So the studio is just basically there to facilitate the training, but they bring their own equipment inside of it. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is mistakes that a lot of gym owners or fitness studios make, or just regular business owners make. And the first mistake I see is that they do whatever their friend down the street is doing. And I say that's a mistake, because even though you and the friend down the street might be in the same business or line of business, it doesn't mean that your answers to those questions are exactly the same. And it also doesn't mean that your friend down the street is doing it correctly. So I always say, talk to a licensed professional. Talk to someone that knows and can understand all of your circumstances to make sure if you should be hiring as an employee or independent contractor. And the second mistake I see business owners make is they say, well, we're just going to risk it. It costs too much to hire an employee, so we're going to risk it and likely fly under the radar because we're just a small business. And the one thing I want to say is that you just not only have to fly under the IRS radar, but you also have to fly under the regular state agency radar. So it's important to know that by wrongly classifying an employee as an independent contractor could potentially bring down a business depending on how long you've been paying them that way or how many employees you have. And then the third mistake that I see businesses make is they have an employee come in that requests to be classified as an independent contractor. And while that might be nice and make your work easier for you, if that independent contractor is actually supposed to be an employee, the burden falls on you and not the independent contractor. So I say, answer the questions, look through the questions, talk to a professional, and if they should be classified as an employee, you must classify as an employee regardless of what the worker requests. So in conclusion, if you answer those questions or you have a situation where you have a worker that definitely qualifies or you believe qualifies as an independent contractor, do not be afraid to do that. Just make sure you document the reasons on why you believe they should be an independent contractor. However, if you have workers that are currently or you plan to use as independent contractors and just hope to fly under the radar even though they likely should be employees, I just want to make sure that you understand the risks that you're taking and to make sure that you're willing to take that risk for your business. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me, and thank you for your time.